Hey guys, welcome to week 4, workout 4, right? Tomorrow's Thursday, yes. With Quarantine Fit with Candace Athletics. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. I'm sure your legs are sore from yesterday, or at least they should be a little bit. So we're gonna try to focus on the top half today, work on some gymnasty stuff and a little bit of cardio. So all you're gonna need for equipment is your jump rope and an ab mat for sit-ups. If you don't have a jump rope, that's fine. We're gonna put jumping jacks in there and we'll talk about the rep scheme that we're gonna do if that's gonna happen later on in the workout, okay? So for your warm-up, you're gonna have 3 rounds. We're gonna be doing 20 singles. If you don't have a jump rope, you're just gonna do 20 jumping jacks for me. Then we're gonna do 10 walkouts with a push-up, okay, and 10 hollow rocks. So with those walkouts, let's not confuse them with the inchworm. We're gonna be coming back up into a standing position every single time. So starting in your standing position, make sure we're coming down, legs are staying as straight as possible, get a nice hamstring stretch, hands come out in front of us, we walk out, and we push up. Walk our hands back in, and stand, okay? So the difference between that and the inchworm is when we're down here, after our push-up, we inch our feet back in. We're not doing that today. We're walking the hands back and starting in the standing position, okay? Then your hollow rock, if we are able to do the full hollow rock, arms are overhead, feet are gonna hover above the floor, very subtle movement, okay? If we need to put a leg down, whatever your scaling option for hollow rocks, that's fine. Just wanna make sure that we get that core warmed up for today. So 3 rounds, 20 singles, 10 walkouts with a push-up, and 10 hollow rocks. For mobility, 1 minute of each. So we do have jump roping today. We're gonna wanna stretch out our calves. So if you have a wall that you can put your foot against or a surface, you're just gonna flex that foot. Heel's gonna be on the ground. Toes are gonna be touching whatever surface you're using. You can switch up intermittently, 30 seconds each side. Okay, whatever you choose. If you need a little bit more of a calf stretch, you can definitely do some calf raises, either quickly or you can stay there, okay? Then we're gonna go to push up with downward dog and foot pedal. So you're gonna kind of go back and forth with the movements. So I know we had a little bit of a push up with the walkouts. Now we're gonna add the push up with the downward dog and use that foot pedal to warm up the calves a little more. Okay, so coming into that plank position, push up, downward dog, make sure our head's getting through that window, and then foot pedal a couple times, come back to your high plank, push up, downward dog, foot pedal. So doing that for 1 minute. Then we're gonna do our arm circles. So remember, this is taking the place of having that PVC pipe. So if you wanna go forward, back, make sure we get some really big circles in there as if we were doing pass-throughs. Again, if you have a PVC pipe or something you can use in place of that, definitely use it. Then we're gonna do a cobra pose into child's pose to stretch out that core. Okay, so a little bit of a complex. So we're gonna come down on our belly, okay, hands are beside us. Come up into your cobra, stretch out your back and the core, push back into child's pose, hang out there, and back to your tabletop, flat, cobra, child's pose. Okay, so do that for a full minute. All right, so calf stretch, push up to downward dog with foot pedal, arm circles, and cobra into child's pose, okay? So for your workout today, we'll talk about it a little bit. You have a 20-minute AMRAP, 50 double unders, 25-foot handstand walk, 50 sit-ups, and 25 handstand push-ups, okay? A little bit more of a high skill workout, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other things we can do in place of that that are just as difficult and beneficial, okay? For your double unders, so there's 50 every round. If you do not have double unders, you're gonna be doubling that today for singles. I'm not gonna have you guys mix single and doubles today. It's either gonna be singles for 100 reps or 50 double unders, okay? And that's it. The only other scaling option if you don't have a jump rope is you would be doing those jumping jacks, and again, doubling the reps, so 100 jumping jacks, okay? Your handstand walk. If any of us have handstand walks, it's gonna be 25 feet total. Try to focus on doing it in 5-foot increments because that's typically the standard, all right? If we don't have handstand walking, we have a couple choices, okay? You can either do a bear crawl for 50 feet. So since we're scaling it back, we're gonna double the length. So a 50-foot bear crawl, or on the wall, we can actually do some shifting, okay? So if we are okay kicking up onto the floor, we're not really getting that walk just yet, but we have that stability to be up on our hands, we can go ahead and do some shifting, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. With the bear crawl, we still wanna make sure that the focus is the weight shifting onto our shoulders and our hands, because that's essentially what we want in our handstand walk, right? We don't want all of our weight to be in our feet, okay? So coming up into that bear position, you want your feet as close to the ground as you can. I'm gonna back up a little bit so you guys can see how far my head has to go between here, okay? So you don't wanna be looking out here or over there. You still really wanna stick your head through. And everyone's always like, well, how am I supposed to know where I'm going? I know you're gonna look forward eventually to see where you're at if you're to your target just yet, but really, the whole point of putting that head through is because we want to force that weight onto our shoulders, all right? So hands are flat, head's through, and we're walking, keeping those legs straight, keeping that weight shifted on my shoulders. But anytime I feel my weight shift back, I need to really stop and focus and reshift that weight onto my shoulders and onto the balls of my hands, okay? So 50-foot bear walk. The shifting I was referring to on the wall, this would be, as I said, somebody who has the stability to be up on their hands. They're not quite there as far as the walk is concerned, but they have that upper body strength, all right? So we're gonna kick up onto the wall. A couple different things you can do. You can just shift your weight, all right, back and forth. If you can pick up your hands, great, all right? If we're sticking just with that as the scaling option for the handstand walk, you would do 25 of those, all right? So 1 shift, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 25. If we wanna try them, but we know 25 isn't gonna happen because you're just not there yet, pick a rep that you know you can probably do every time. So maybe pick like 5, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come down and do whatever's left of the bear crawl. So if you do 5, do a 45-foot bear crawl. Yes. Like, does that make sense? Yes. Okay. So your choice as far as that's concerned. But just remember, whole point is we're trying to get our body to be able to do this upside down so that we can walk on our hands. Okay. Then we're going to move on to 50 sit-ups. All right. Looking for those traditional butterfly sit-ups on the mat. All right, so in that butterfly position, nice and tight, arms overhead, coming up, touching the front of the toes, okay? And let's see, 25 handstand push-ups after that, okay? So again, we're not gonna mix it up like we did last week. I know last week I had you guys do, a certain amount of handstand push-ups, certain amount of strict push-ups. Nope, if we have handstand push-ups, we are doing 25 of them. If we don't, we can don't really know that I even want to have you guys do wall walks because that seems like it would be a lot of wall walks. We could have even put that in for the handstand walk, but I just think that's way too many options. So we'll stay away from wall walks today. For your handstand push-ups, if we don't have them, let's scale back to our regular strict handstand push-up. All right, try not to come too wide. We don't want to do a chest push-up. We want to do a tricep push-up. All right, down. We can be in the box, down, or on our knees. My ankles are crossed, and down, okay? Make sure for those handstand push-ups, we're doing them properly. So up on the wall, all right? Knees, head down, power up. Really try to make sure the head and knees come down at the same time. Maybe your first rep, that doesn't happen, me too, because I'm just like, let me just make sure I'm stable. But then after that, knees and head should be coming down at the same time. Drive through, just like you had a barbell, stick that head through, okay, when you get to the top. So, 20-minute AMRAP, 50 double unders, 25-foot handstand walk, 50 sit-ups, and 25 handstand push-ups. And then, of course, scaling to whatever you need to scale to. If you guys have questions, concerns, anybody that might have a mobility issue as far as being on their hands like that, whether it's to shift on the wall, bear crawl. If you're somebody like that needs additional modification, just shoot me a message. A couple different options for you, okay? But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy it. Week is almost over. Hopefully we're getting closer to seeing each other, okay? But in the meantime, just enjoy, and I'll see you tomorrow for Friday's workout. Bye.